Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here. Back again with another video. So, you guys see the title, you see the thumbnail. This Sony Michel experience, in my opinion, I think it needs to end. This is not going very well. And, no matter what the coaches say, no matter what the organization says, this ain't going well. And, most of us Charger fans, we know this. We watch the games, and our eyes are not lying to us. What you are seeing is a guy who is a journeyman, and this could very well be his last stop as far as Sony Michel goes. This could be his last stop in the NFL. He possibly could get on somewhere else after this, but this is probably going to be his last stop, and it looks like it. The explosion is not there. Nothing is really popping to me. For him to be getting as much work as he's been getting since the season started, to me is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. We've seen Josh Kelly come in on several occasions and look way more spry. He's looked way more explosive. He's hitting the holes harder. He's running harder. His balance is better. And he looks like a guy that has the potential to break a 30 or 40-yard run, at any point, when he has the ball. Sony Michel is not that guy. Now, again, I'm not going to take away anything that Sony Michel has accomplished in his career. He had a very good career in college at Georgia. He came into the league, got drafted by the Patriots. He wins the Super Bowl right away. Then, he kind of disappears in New England. Right, goes into the Bill Belichick doghouse. And then, he gets traded to the Rams, and then he contributed. He was a big contributor to the Rams Super Bowl victory last season, right? He wasn't a guy that was, a bit player. He contributed big time, and he was a guy that they trusted with the ball, especially in big playoff games, right? He's not going to fumble. He's just going to be steady for you, and he's going to get the job done. At this point in his career, though, there's really no. You're getting a guy who is safe, right? There's no pop, there's no juice, there's no explosiveness, and at this point right now, I don't think that is what the Chargers need, right? The Chargers are a young team, by and large, right? There's veterans on this team, but this team is young from the standpoint of not knowing how to win yet, right? They don't know how to win. They don't know how to play with success, right? I think Sony Michel can play a pivotal role in the locker room. As far as veteran leadership, right? Super Bowl champion, a guy who's been there, who knows how things work. He's been on winning teams, right? So I'm sure he has a lot of great advice that he can, kick down to a lot of the younger guys that are in the locker room. But as far as him playing so much, it's just not working out. Especially with this run game, right? The Chargers rank 32nd. They are 32nd. They are running the ball the worst in the league. And to me, that's unacceptable, right? The Chargers don't have to have, a top 5 running game. But with all of the talent of the offensive line, especially the way the offensive line has been playing all year, this is a good offensive line. The Chargers are very good on the offensive line. They've only allowed 4 sacks all year, and that is tops in the NFL. So you're getting great pass protection from this offensive line. This offensive line is big, and they are nasty, but, coaching philosophy means a lot. And if the run game is not a priority, then your run game is going to look the way that the Chargers look. And, it's just not good enough. And it to me, it's unacceptable. And, it's something that is not going to lead to good things happening for you. You're right. Even if the Chargers make the playoffs, you're going to have to run the ball. There's going to come a point in time in the season where you're going to have to run the ball. You can't just be one-dimensional. You cannot just have Justin Herbert bail you out of situations, right? 3rd and longs, even some 4th downs, 4th and shorts and stuff. You can't just have Justin Herbert bail you out of situations. The run game has to be a priority. And, with Sony Michel back there, there's just not enough juice, right? Now, he's a guy that you can trust with the ball. He's not going to fumble. He's not going to, cut back and do a lot of dancing and all of this stuff, right? He's not going to do any of that. But he's also not going to give you the 10 and 15 and 20-yard runs. He's just not going to do that. He doesn't have the burst, through the line of scrimmage. He just doesn't have it. He looks like he's playing with a piano on his back, to be honest with you. I know there's a lot of young guys in the Chargers running back room, but those guys are going to have to get carries. They're going to have to get some work in at some point, right? This is a team that has, Super Bowl aspirations, right? Definitely playoff aspirations. And these young guys, they're going to have to learn sooner or later, right? You can't just keep bringing in veterans and hoping that they're going to save the day. I don't think that it is fair. It's not fair to ask that of them. It's not fair to put so much on Sony Michel's plate, especially considering he was signed just days before the season started, right? Week 1 against the Raiders. So I think the coaching staff is relying way, way too much on Sony Michel. Again, he's a veteran, right? He knows what to do. He's been there before. But these young guys need to learn. Joshua Kelly has a lot to give. We haven't even seen Isaiah Spiller yet, right? That is another topic for another day. Brandon Staley said that he hasn't played yet because he hasn't been one of the 3 best backs on the team, and that in itself is a problem. If he is not one of the 3 best backs on the team, why did you draft him? Right? That doesn't make any sense to me. So there's obviously some issues there as far as personnel goes. And I think that is affecting the run game as well, too. There has to be a steady flow to the run game. There has to be defined roles, right? Guys can't just come in and get 5 carries, in the first half and no carries in the second half. It just doesn't make any sense. There has to be defined roles, right? You can't just keep going back and forth and having a revolving door. You have to allow guys to get into a rhythm. Austin Eckler got more work this past weekend in Houston, so that's why he looked a little better. They went to him more. So I'm going to be expecting more of that. But as the season continues to go along, the defined roles have to be there, right? Obviously, Austin Eckler is your number 1. Joshua Kelly won the number 2 position fair and square in camp. He needs to be getting more carries. He needs to get more work. He was really good in pass protection on Sunday, this past Sunday in Houston. There were several plays, especially in the first half, where he picked up some blitzes. He looked very, very good. He impressed me. And, that's normally the thing that keeps young running backs on the bench is pass protection. That cannot be said in Joshua Kelly's case. So he needs to get more work. Again, these young guys are going to have to learn at some point. You cannot stick with old veterans and think that you're just going to get by with a mediocre or below average running game, because it's just not going to happen. Super Bowls are not won that way. Playoff games are not won that way. You cannot just be one-dimensional. You can't be one-dimensional, especially with Justin Herbert, not being 100%, right? We know he's not going to be 100% probably until the bye week, right? Those rib injuries take a long time to heal. Even with the best medical care, even with the most advanced medical care, it's still something that takes a while to heal, just because it's that area of your body that takes a long time to heal. So we know this. So the Chargers should be relying on the run game even more, and that should be one of the offense's goals this weekend in Cleveland. Let's continue to build on the run game, right? Let's not just be happy with running for whatever they ran for the other day. What was it, 80, 90 yards, whatever it was. Let's continue to build on that. Let's continue to build, and let's continue to get better. And that's what the goal should be. Joshua Kelly should be getting more work. And this run game should be more of a focus, more of a feature, in the upcoming games. We know what Justin Herbert can do. We know what he can do. He's played hero for the Chargers many, many times. Many times. More times than we can count. And it's only been, 2 years, right? A little more than 2 years. So the run game has to get going, guys. It has to get going. The Sony Michel experiment, it's got to end at some point, right? It's got to end. And I don't think he's a guy that's going to, upset the apple cart. I don't think he's going to, really turn the locker room inside out because his carries are going down. He's just happy to be in the league at this point, right? He got cut in Miami. He was one of the last cuts on the 53-man cut down day in Miami. So, he's just lucky to be in the league, man. If the Chargers didn't pick him up, maybe he gets signed, with Denver after some running back injuries or something like that. But I think he's just happy to be in the league. There's no reason to just keep going to this and it's not working. They're going to have to make adjustments. And, that is a part of the NFL. It's a part of sports. You got to make adjustments if you want to be successful. If you don't make adjustments and you think things are just going to write itself out, there have been better teams than this that have, ended up not making the playoffs because of poor coaching or poor personnel decisions, or a mixture and a combination of both, right? So the Chargers got to get this right. They got to get this right. This is a personnel issue that needs to be solved right away. It's a personnel issue that is holding the team back on the field. And the sooner they solve this and the sooner they adjust to it, the more rhythm the Chargers running game can have, and the better the team will be, right? The better the team will be, the more they can convert on second and third down. The less hits you're bringing to Justin Herbert, less dropbacks. All of the good stuff that comes with having a good run game, right? This is what you reap when you make the right personnel decisions, and then when those decisions, bore themselves out on the field, then you can, start to reap some of the benefits of that. Especially, for a team as talented as the Chargers, this is what they really, really need to do. So I'm hoping that they make the right decisions. This is going to be week 5. This is the second quadrant of games, so I'm expecting a lot better play out of the Chargers on both sides of the ball, but we need this personnel issue to get ironed out as quick as possible, because it's just not working out, and we know it. We've been knowing it. So again, the faster they get this fixed, the faster we can expect more productive, running game from the Chargers. So, but that's all I got for this one, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Shout out to all my new subscribers. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out as well too. I'll be back again tomorrow with more content. As we get closer to game day on Sunday, we got the Chargers and the Browns, so it's going to be an exciting one. Can't wait. And just again, thank you guys for all the support, and until next time.